Everybody, welcome. This is the Arkansas Diamond Report with Dudley Dawson. I'm Jason Pattison, and we're doing this a little cold SNL style, just like Dudley just said, live from Springdale, Arkansas. It's Thursday night.
That is true.
Man, how you doing this evening?
Doing good, doing good. Looking forward to the weekend. Lots happening. Obviously, a couple of games down there in Little Rock, or North Little Rock for the Central Arkansas basketball fans to watch, and some NFL on Saturday as well.
Yeah,
Should be a fun weekend.
it's going to be a fun weekend, and I got NFL tonight a little bit. Got a little bit of Viking action, and I think they've got a. I noticed that they got Josh Dobbs ranked third on the quarterback depth chart now. So I wonder if that experiment might have reached its end.
Yeah, it's almost as if he's learned the offense now, and now they're moving on. He's had time to learn. Certainly, he's had some success with him early, but they're just trying to get into the playoffs. So balanced situation over there, among a lot of teams. So they're just trying to find their Tommy DeVito again.
Man, did you see the his agent on the sideline?
That's straight out of The Sopranos,
Ooh.
Polly Walker, type dude. So it was perfect, and I know he wasn't talking to anybody on that phone. That was for show. I'm pretty sure they're on the sidelines.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? If Vito Calvaruso was looking for an agent, I think we might have found him one.
Yeah, and that's going to be your kicker next year. I think not a lot of people I know. I'm not sure a lot of people know that he came back before the start of the season.
Yeah.
And that put Arkansas in pretty good hands for next year in terms of kicking that, because he was great the previous year when he was the kickoff guy. I mean, you worried about that, and Cam being able to do it. Cam certainly came in and did a great job at that as well. And now he's going to go on and more than likely get drafted in the fourth round or so and be kicking on Sundays next year.
Yeah, speaking of Sundays too, we were watching that Cowboys game Sunday night. I kept feeling like Jalen Hurts had some sort of something, like just some charisma, magical something that he was going to pull out of his back pocket, and that Cowboy defense it's really just squashed it.
Yeah, and I'll share with the general public what I was texting you about. I was worried I didn't have a beard and was going to run out, and it was going to be my fault. Like Mike Neighbors says, the women's basketball coach, I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. So glad they got that. When it's my fault.
No, yeah, I mean, you were able to milk that Bud Light to the very, very end there and preserve that Cowboy win. Because I mean, hey,
of the four corners in the last half. So,
man, I'm telling you, I want to believe that the Cowboys are going to make a run, but like you said before, it's got to go through San Francisco. Because if the Cowboys want to reach at least the Super Bowl, that's where they've got to go through.
Yeah, Cowboys have a tough schedule left here. Philadelphia's isn't is tough, obviously. But they get to play the Tommy DeVito Magic twice down the stretch, in Seattle once. So, we'll see how that plays itself out. But I do think that, whoever wins that home field advantage is going to have a great advantage, whether San Francisco has the one spot and really whoever wins the Eastern Division as well is going, shape. Whoever wins the division in San Francisco, that being Detroit has come a long way. There's some that have played well there, but I think there's three really good teams. What order they're in, sure, because Philadelphia will get healthy again, and it'll play itself out. Every time I get a little optimism, things go off the rails. So we'll see.
I feel like the boys the same way as I do the Kansas City Chiefs, for instance, because Kansas City's got one good pass catcher, Travis Kelce. That's it. It seems like that everybody else is really on spot action as far as reliability, because there's not anybody that they can go in on a week in and week out basis right now. I just don't see them making a Super Bowl this year.
I like
just there.
They could get hot again, but they're blaming the media and blaming every referees, blaming everybody else. I think as they came back down from their high, they realized that or their low, I guess it would be. they realized that it wasn't a play. You can point to that, but they've had a lot of trouble in the red zone. And as the morning sports shows on TV, have driven into the ground, although it's right. Kansas City just doesn't have the pass catchers that they have in the past. They've got some guys that can run decent routes and are fast, but I can think of at least 3 wins this season they should have had that, the wide receivers wasn't Mahomes, wasn't Kelsey, was the wide receivers just dropping passes or not being where Patrick Mahomes went. Well, with the ball, he knows where he's going with the ball.
yeah. And I saw Limbo works this weekend. Got to hang out with him, Greg Thomas, for a little while. Greg and his team from East Plano was up here for a basketball tournament in Fayetteville. And I looked at Limbo. I said, "You know of anybody that can join that wide receiver core there at Kansas City?" And he threw both of his hands up, and he just looked at me with that crazy look on his face. Said, "Man, are you kidding me right now?"
Tell you a little thing about Bo and Steve Eager, a couple of good buddies of mine, but they're big Kansas City fans, and they were giving grief when Dallas, after they lost to San Francisco, and I told Limbo that Dallas lives rent free because he talks about them more on the on social media than the that he did about the Chiefs. And since they, I think it was around Thanksgiving, since they gifted my wife with 2 Kansas City shirts, neither one that were big enough to fit her, the played as well, and Armor will come back and get you.
Yeah. I had a great time though, sitting there kind of razzing him a little bit. Love the guy, love talking to him. Greg's wife and stuff. We sat out there. I'm gonna tell you what, man, East Plano, they got a basketball team. They went into that Fayetteville tournament and smoked everybody. Smoked them. So I think Greg's gonna have some fun there this basketball season. But let's a couple more things I want to get a touch on. But first off, I'm torn with this Lady Back team because you go from a bounce back 40-point win to a 4-point loss at home, and you just sit there and scratch your head and say, what's going on?
Well, we had a press conference today with Coach Neighbors, and a lot of it to do with what he thought after the game. He laid it at the feet of his coaching staff and his players, and that they just didn't hustle enough, didn't put forth effort. UAPB's good enough that it has good players. And I asked him, so it sure appeared once UAPB got close there in the third quarter and pushed ahead in the fourth quarter, that Arkansas was playing not to lose while UAPB was playing with urgency. And there's a lot to be said for that. What was it, 15 in a row they had beaten in-state teams, and you can tell them, hey, they're going to give you their best effort. This was easily, I think, the one that had the most talent, most transfers, and Adam McDonald's All-American. Arkansas shouldn't have lost the game. The team knows that. The coaches know that. You got to give Don Thornton and her group a lot of credit on UAPB and what they came up here and did. But it's just, that's not supposed to happen. And I would anticipate that the Lady Razorback, I still call them, will bounce back Saturday at 12:30 when they play a Sanford team that got more interesting to me today when I found out that Peyton Pritchard's sister, Emily Pritchard, formerly of Oregon, and who Coach Neighbors actually used to recruit when she was in the eighth and ninth grade when he was at Washington, is still playing college basketball COVID year, and she's shooting nearly 50% from 3-point range. So that'll be a more interesting game to me now that I know that there's a Celtics, relationship there as sister, and it's all pretty good.
Yeah, I think over the next couple of months we're going to continue to see this. She was named again SEC Freshman of the Week. She had 31 against Louisiana Tech. Follow that up with 31 against UAB, and then had 29 against Louisiana Tech is what it was. And averaging starting week alone, it's just I'm starting to wonder if this continues over the next couple of weeks. You might not start to hear name for SEC team, possibly All American stuff, those sorts of things. Whenever you start to score that many points and have that effect on your team, man, I'm telling you, you really start to really pour those accolades.
Yeah, and one of the things that I thought was interesting, and I want to give again UAPB coach Don Thornton a lot of credit. They made an adjustment at halftime where they actually went into the locker room, and I wouldn't want to scrimmaging, but they went through the motions to show what they should be doing, going over those high screens instead of crushing them and trying to play it the way they did. She scored 23 in the first half and only 8 in the second half, and they did a really good job of making an adjustment there. And I think sometimes you get into a situation where Talia is scoring so much that the other 4 on the court at the time maybe, are watching her. And that they talked about, Coach Neighbors talked about how that's something they'll be, have worked on this week, while also taking finals, and also they'll be working on during the stretch that they have when they're out of school. This is a good time to improve your basketball team because you're just going to practice. You're not going to class, and you have the opportunity to really work on things. And as the film showed, they had several that they needed to improve on. I still think they're going to be a pretty good team. You can't help but think how much better they might be if Sasha Goforth wasn't going through her illness again, and if Jersey Wolfenbarger was on the team. I mean, those are two,
Huge pieces
that were 2 McDonald's All-Americans. That are no longer with the program right now, at least temporarily, and we'll see. It doesn't sound like Sasha is planning on coming back. Just going to kind of stick to the health and take care of that, and you wish her well. But that's 2 players out of the rotation that you really expected to be major contributors that are not in there, and so you're going to have the other one step up off the bench, and I think that's what they're trying to do now is not have your starters play 39 minutes. That was one of the things that he was preaching at the start of the year. He thought he had enough yet that he wouldn't have to do that, but that's what he had to do. Yeah. Had to do Sunday for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I also want to thank our quick pause here because I want to thank our sponsor, Koi Southern Eats. We do a lot of great things with them. We gave a gift box away just recently to one of the Hogville folks out there. She was really close in guessing the Arkansas-Missouri score and got that sent to her. I hope that she's gotten that. Cindy Alt is the one that won that box. Make sure it is with this time of the year, head over to Koi Southern Eats, go over there, take a look at their website. They've got great things to order. Spices, also game bags you can dredge meat in. You can also, corporate gifting that they've got as well that you can go in there and take a look at their website. You can also find all of their products on, Amazon.com, Walmart.com, and KoiSouthernEats.com. Go over, re-experience the magic of Koi's. Come get you some. And I'm going to tell you what, man, also next month, they're going to be opening up a Koi's steakhouse in one of the hotels in Hot Springs that's being renovated that will be open this spring. And hopefully they want to make sure that gets open right in the middle of horse racing season.
I'll have to get down there and get to that while I'm guessing on the horses. That's truly what I do. Buddies like Richard Davenport studies it a lot more than I do. I like names. I like jockeys. I don't understand workouts much, but I have fun when I go down there. It's where my daughter Lindsay was born, and I have a lot of affection for the history of baseball and criminals and everything else they've had down there.
Well, we're going to be doing a Hogville Live whenever that opens. So we might have to make just a Hogville caravan and go down there, go eat some great food, go look at the horses, and just kind of take in the town a little bit.
Our boss has a box down there, so we'll have to check into that.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for that open because I want to get down there and see what they got going on. So the Bowerman ceremonies are going to be this evening, and you've got 2 track athletes, one from women's and one from men's that's going to be down there. I know the list of Orange is down there too, getting some exclusive footage for Hogville and for Pig Trail Nation. And I'm telling you, that's a huge feat for to have two Arkansas Razorbacks nominated in the same year.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can talk about football school, basketball school, baseball school. This is a track school in terms of this and in terms of what they've accomplished over the years. And there's no reason to not yell that from the mountaintops when you've got two that are up for those awards this year. They it says a lot about it, a lot about the program and how it's continued through a few coaches and continue to have success. It is a program when it is the outlier instead of winning it, and that's really where you want to get.
Yeah, it really is. So make sure to tune in. I do believe that's on SEC. I cannot remember off the top of my head which station that's being broadcast on at 7:00. So just in about 5 minutes.
I really wish.
But if you check over the Hogville page,
I really wish Alyssa would get to go on some
what's
trips.
that?
I really wish Alyssa could go on some trips. She's going to have to go to Paris later and cover the Olympics. Tough life there.
That's good. That is really tough. I'm telling you, somebody's got to do it, I guess. So, real quick, the elephant in the room: the 2024 Razorback football schedule was released last night on the SEC network. I think that we knew the players. We just know the dates. We won't know the times until later on. But the schedule for the I kind of like the way that they've done with getting the UAPB game out first and foremost, get that in and out, and down in Little Rock, and then the rest of the season play out. But I really like those road games Arkansas has this year.
Well, you can either be positive about it or negative about it. It can go either way. I mean, it is an SEC schedule. There's not going to be any easy schedule. Some may, fall better than others. And with Oklahoma and Texas coming into the league, they did a great job in trying to balance everything. Yes, there's only one game in Fayetteville in the first 5 weeks. There's 2 open dates. You close with, if you can get better as you go throughout the year, you can close with, a favorable schedule. But it's one of those things. It's all going to be about the talent they acquire between now and the time they go out August 31st and play UAPB. I've been making some statements that I think it's going to depend a lot on if they can buy them an offensive line. You got some guys coming back that have the potential and can do good things. But you're going to have to bring in some kids here. They've already got one that transferred in from Michigan State. But in this day and age, when you have it's the college is business. It's kind of a sport, but more of a business. AJ didn't come back, which you think is the case, but we'll see. I'm never surprised by anything. You have more salary cap to offer more people. I hate to be disingenuous about it, but that are. You have a certain amount of money, and I understand Arkansas doing their best to bring some more in there, but I think we all know that the accumulation of talent between now and the opening of that season is going to make that schedule either a lot easier or a lot harder.
Yeah, and I know that, folks. I'll be the first one to admit, over the summer I drank the Kool-Aid. I said 10 wins. I was way the hell off. I won't make that mistake again. But I will start calling, I'll call a spade a spade. And if I go out there and look and see what, how preseason practice, fall camp looks like in the very small limited time amount that we're granted. I'm not going to here and tell you wins is going to be, the top, because it's just, that's unfathomable. It's reckless, I think, because of everything that you've had turned over this season.
Yeah, you had 38 new faces when they entered the season. Some of them made significant impacts. Some didn't. Some are no longer here. I think if you were to give that a grade, that acquisition of talent that this past year would be a C. You started out, one of the things that I think will help Arkansas, obviously, is having an offensive coordinator who has a history that being able to bring in good quarterbacks, to develop those quarterbacks. And, you would think that would be able to do with not only the Boise State transfer, Taylor Green, but also Jacoby Criswell, Malachi Singleton, KJ Jackson as well. Whether KJ Jefferson is back or not, and he could certainly benefit from being around Coach Petrino, you would have to think. But I think that, it's going to be development. It's always been development here at the University of Arkansas. They would love to go out and get 5 stars. They would love to go out and get a bevy of 4 stars. And, that is they've had going. It's going to be interesting to see what Courtney Crutchfield, the wide receiver from Pine Bluff, does after this visit to Missouri this weekend. That'd be a big get for them. He could flourish in both Eli Drinkowitz and Bobby Petrino's offenses. He's that good. He's a good enough player. Having Andrew Armstrong is back is a good thing. And then Isaiah, you would think would take a major step forward this next year. So there are some reasons to be hopeful about the season. It's, after 4-8, it's hard to get too high about it, but we'll see, as I said, the acquisition of talent, how that goes along, and we'll see how it plays itself out. You got to win the close ones like you did a few years ago, not lose the close ones like you did this year, and you got to score. And obviously, they brought in somebody that should help the offensive output, and now you just got to go get him some Jimmys and Joes.
Yeah. Make sure also all the stories y'all know, go over to hogville.net. All of Dudley, Otis, and Kevin's stuff is free. Make sure to go over and check that out. All the videos and all the articles. Also, I mean, heck, Dudley, I even put a Facebook a Hogville thread that was exactly Jimmy's and Joe's, because that's exactly what's going to happen. Is they're going to have those guys.
One thing I was going to throw out there is this is the Diamond Report. Hagen Smith saw today that he's the number 15 prospect in the MLBpipeline.com next year's draft. I would like him to move up to number 7, where the Cardinals are going to be. But we'll see. I think he and Mason Molina and Brady Tigert are going to form a really good guys to watch. It's gonna, I suspect, and barring any injury, that's the 3 we'll see when Arkansas opens the season against James Madison here at home, and then the next week when they go to play in the Kubota College Series down in Globe Life Stadium when they take on Oregon State, Oklahoma State, and Michigan, which should be interesting.
Yep, definitely. Well, Dudley, I'll get you out of here. And I want to thank everybody for jumping on with us tonight here. Just a couple of moments. We'll be flipping back over with Marty and the huddle here in just a few minutes. And so, y'all, I want to say take care. Merry Christmas. It's coming up faster than you think. My kids are going to be out of school starting on after tomorrow for 2.5 weeks almost. So they're going to enjoy that. And I want y'all hopefully to have a very safe and merry holiday, and we will see you all on Well, I'm not going to say Sunday yet. You and I, Dudley, you and I have got to talk about this, because this Sunday stuff, I think it might need to change a little bit.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go to the gymnastics preview at 2:00 on Sunday, and start their season next year. They released their TV schedule today, and you expect them to have a good season. Got a great coach and a program that's continuing to rise, and women's sports and really all but one sport here has been fairly successful, during this last calendar year.
Yep. All right. For Dudley, thank you all for jumping on with us tonight, and we will see you soon. Take care.